Have you ever opened a cold storage room and noticed that the produce looked older than it should? The refrigeration was working, the humidity was right, the room looked clean. But the lettuce was yellowing, the strawberries were softening, the bananas were turning faster than expected, or the avocados were ripening before they reached the customer. When that happens, most facilities blame temperature, transit damage, handling issues, or poor quality at the source. But in many produce storage environments, the real problem is something you cannot see, smell, or easily detect. It is called ethylene gas. And if your cold storage facility does not have an active ethylene control system in place, that gas may be quietly working against your inventory every single hour. In this video, we are going to explain what ethylene gas is, why it becomes a serious problem in cold storage, which produce items are most at risk, and how modern facilities are using continuous air and surface purification to help reduce shrinkage, extend shelf life, and protect produce quality. So, what is ethylene gas? Ethylene gas, also known as C2H4, is a colorless and odorless gas that is naturally produced by fruits and vegetables as they ripen. In simple terms, ethylene is a plant hormone. It is part of the natural ripening process. It helps bananas turn yellow, it helps peaches become fragrant, it helps tomatoes develop color. So, ethylene itself is not bad. The problem starts when ethylene builds up in the wrong environment at the wrong time around the wrong produce. In open air, ethylene can disperse. But in a sealed or semi-sealed cold storage room, ethylene can accumulate. And once it builds up, it can speed up the aging process of nearby produce, even if that produce was not ready to ripen yet. That is why ethylene gas in cold storage can become a major hidden cause of produce spoilage, shrinkage, and reduced shelf life. Cold storage is designed to slow down spoilage. It controls temperature, it helps preserve freshness, it gives produce distributors, food processors, grocery suppliers, and storage facilities more time to move inventory. But standard refrigeration systems do not remove ethylene gas. In many cold rooms, the refrigeration system simply recirculates the air. That means ethylene released by apples, bananas, avocados, pears, peaches, tomatoes, and melons can continue moving throughout the room. If ethylene-sensitive produce is stored nearby, that produce can absorb the gas and begin aging faster. This is where the problem becomes expensive. A cold room may look clean, the temperature may be correct, the humidity may be in range. But if ethylene is accumulating in the air, the produce inside that room may still be losing shelf life. This is especially important in mixed load storage environments where high ethylene producing fruits are stored near ethylene sensitive items. For example, apples and bananas may be releasing ethylene into the same shared air as lettuce, broccoli, cucumbers, strawberries, kiwi, or fresh herbs. That combination can create serious quality problems. Not all produce behaves the same way. Some fruits and vegetables release a lot of ethylene. Others are highly sensitive to ethylene exposure. Common high ethylene producing items include apples, avocados, bananas, pears, peaches, nectarines, tomatoes, melons, and passion fruit. These items can continue producing ethylene during storage, especially as ripening progresses. On the other side, ethylene-sensitive produce can be damaged by exposure. That includes leafy greens like lettuce, spinach, and arugula. It also includes broccoli, cauliflower, cucumbers, strawberries, kiwi, and fresh herbs. When these sensitive items are exposed to ethylene, they may yellow faster, soften too quickly, wilt, lose texture, or show signs of premature aging. This is one reason a shipment may leave the facility looking acceptable, but arrive at retail or food service below spec. The damage may have already started inside the cold room before anyone noticed it. The cost of ethylene gas is not always obvious. Most facilities do not have a line item on their report that says ethylene damage. Instead, the cost shows up in other ways. More shrinkage, more product rejection, more sorting and grading labor, shorter shelf life, more customer complaints, more chargebacks, more waste, and less sellable inventory. This is why ethylene gas can quietly erode margins. A facility may think it has a handling problem, a supplier problem, or a temperature problem. But in reality, Part of the loss may be caused by uncontrolled ethylene accumulation in the air. For produce operations, even a small improvement in shelf life can make a major difference. If you can reduce premature ripening, reduce shrinkage, and help produce hold quality longer, that can directly impact profitability. Most cold storage and produce handling facilities try to manage ethylene in a few common ways. The first method is product separation. That means keeping high ethylene producing items away from ethylene sensitive items. This can help, but it is not always practical. Many facilities deal with mixed loads, limited space, high turnover, and fast moving inventory. Even with good procedures, separation is not always perfect. The second method is ventilation. Adding fresh air can help dilute ethylene levels, but in cold storage, this creates another problem. Bringing in outside air can make it harder to control temperature and humidity. That can increase energy use and create new environmental challenges. The third method is using ethylene scrubbers, activated carbon, or chemical filtration systems. These systems can help capture ethylene from the air, but they usually require filter changes, maintenance, and airflow through a specific filtration point. That means they may only treat the air that passes directly through the device. They also do not address the full room environment in the same way a continuous air and surface purification system can. That is why many modern facilities are looking beyond traditional ethylene scrubbers and searching for more active ethylene control solutions. A newer approach uses reactive oxygen species, also called ROS, to actively treat the room environment. Instead of only capturing ethylene at a filter point, ROS-based purification is designed to work continuously in the air. AirROS by Sage uses this type of continuous air and surface purification approach. The goal is to help reduce ethylene gas throughout the storage environment while also supporting cleaner air and surfaces. This is different from standard refrigeration. Refrigeration controls temperature. It does not actively eliminate ethylene, and it is different from a passive scrubber that only treats what passes through the filter. AirROS is designed to provide ongoing air and surface treatment in spaces like cold storage rooms, produce handling facilities, food manufacturing areas, and distribution environments. For facilities dealing with produce shrinkage, premature ripening, odor, microbial load, and air quality concerns, this kind of continuous system can become part of a broader quality control strategy. The main reason this matters is simple. Produce quality is time sensitive. Every hour matters. If ethylene is building up inside a cold room, it can shorten the useful shelf life of inventory before that inventory ever reaches the customer. That means your team may be doing everything else right and still losing margin. You may have good refrigeration, good sanitation, good handling practices, good inventory rotation. But if ethylene is not being actively controlled, the room may still be working against you. That is why ethylene control should be part of the conversation for cold storage facilities, produce distributors, food manufacturers, grocery supply chains, and post-harvest handling operations. The question is not only, is my room cold enough? The better question is, what is happening in the air while my produce is sitting in storage? Here are the key takeaways. Ethylene gas is a natural plant hormone released by ripening fruits and vegetables. In open air, ethylene can disperse, but in sealed or semi-sealed cold storage rooms, ethylene can accumulate. Standard refrigeration does not remove ethylene gas. High ethylene producing items like apples, bananas, avocados, pears, peaches, tomatoes, and melons can accelerate spoilage in sensitive produce. Ethylene sensitive items like lettuce, broccoli, cucumbers, strawberries, kiwi, and fresh herbs can yellow, soften, wilt, or lose quality faster when exposed. Traditional ethylene control methods like separation, ventilation, and scrubbers can help, but they also have limitations. Continuous ROS-based air and surface purification offers a more active approach to ethylene control in cold storage and produce handling environments. And for commercial produce operations, controlling ethylene is not just about freshness. It is about reducing shrinkage, protecting margins, lowering waste, and delivering better product quality to customers. If your facility is dealing with premature ripening, unexpected shrinkage, produce rejection, or inconsistent shelf life, Ethylene gas may be part of the problem. AirROS by Sage helps cold storage, produce handling, and food manufacturing facilities take a more proactive approach to air and surface purification. To learn more, visit AirROSbySAGE.com or request a facility assessment to identify the highest risk storage zones in your operation. The produce in your cold room has a biological clock. The question is whether your facility is controlling what speeds it up.